The 16th chapter, as you all know, is titled as Devasur Sampad Vibhag Yoga. In this chapter, God explains the divine qualities that the qualities which are very desirable from us, as well as the negative qualities that which we harbor or which we are likely to get a victim if we are not spiritually aware and careful. So it describes divine qualities as well as asuri qualities. Last time we went over the divine qualities, and now God takes us further, explaining what are the negative qualities or asuri qualities. Namaste, dear friends, and welcome to our continued study of Bhagavad Gita. Last time we studied the shloka number 12 of the chapter 16th, and we'll continue from there. Just to recapitulate the 12th shloka, where God says, Asa pas satir baddha, kam krodha parayana, ihante kam bhogarthe, anyayen artha sanchayan. Means people who are more worldly kind and under the influence of Prakriti, they they are bound by multiple desires. Asa pasa satyar baddha means hundreds of desires, binding desires, hundreds of binding desires, and such people are more committed to kama krodha. They are under the influence of kama and krodha. Their ego or their understanding is such that they think that the enjoyment and of the worldly objects is the prime goal of life. So such people are under the influence of multiple binding desires, desires, and they spend their most of the time in acquiring the wealth, because wealth is necessary for enjoyment of the worldly objects. So ihante kam bhogarthe means they keep accumulating for enjoyment. Kam bhogarthe anyayen artha sanchayan, and even by unethical, unlawful means, they want to acquire money to enjoy the sense objects of the world as much as possible. So this becomes their main goal and many times only goal in life, and they are convinced that that is right. So God says these asuri people, asuri means committed to sense enjoyment and sense objects. Nothing wrong with that, but these are the people who are exclusively committed to that. So God defines it binding desires. Binding desires means desires which if not fulfilled makes you sad, angry, and restless, and you will do anything and everything to fulfill your desire. That is called binding desires. Otherwise, or the desires are very important for our normal life, and that is very useful human emotion. So God is not talking about that. So that was the 12th sloka, and the 13th sloka. Now God says, now God describes the mental frame of these asuri people who are committed to sense enjoyments. So and they have very little concern with the divinity. Most of the time they don't believe in God or Creator. They don't believe in sinful or pious activities. None of that is of concern. Their concern is the objects of the world that they can see and enjoy. So that is the only thing. So such people's frame of mind, God describes that now. Idamadhyam maya labdham, idam prapse manoratham, idamasti idamapi me bhavishyanti punardhanam. Idam is these, adya, today. Idam adya maya labdham. These I attend today, means now. idam madhyam maya labdam, idam prapse manoratham, and I will get the other things also. Idam asti idam api me bhavishyanti punardhanam. And this way I will become very wealthy, successful, and enjoying the sense objects. It's a sense objects. They they are very careful about them, about money, like all the human beings are and should be. But here they are wedded to money for sense enjoyment only, no other goal. And uh, mm, and they continue their activities in the world. Now God takes us further. Asomaya hata satru. So they talk to themselves that now I have subdued my competitor, or a fellow man which was coming in the way. Asomaya hata satru hanishecha puranapi. Ishwaro aham ambhogi siddho aham balwan sukhi. I subdued my one competitor. I will take care of the other obstacles, means other competitors. I am controller. Iswara means controller. I'm in charge. Iswaro aham. Aham bhogi. I'm the enjoyer. Aham bhogi. Siddho aham balvan sukhi. I am successful. I am the enjoyer. And I subdued these many competitors. I will be at the top. Nothing wrong with the competition, but here they will take any means and every means to do that. And because the only concern is the money for sense enjoyments and selfish egocentric desires. In that process, if it hurts other people, innocent people, bystanders, they don't care. So that is what is wrong. And and they take advantage of all the situations. Our Dadaji used to say that your difficulty is my opportunity. That's the way these asuri people think. It's like an example. There was a COVID time and people were helpless and they were ready to do anything to save their loved ones. And in that situation, the people who were pharmacists or who had access to this oxygen supply, and they charged enormous amount, not double but several times more, and took advantage of that. That is asuri. That is, God says, that is sinful. That is a sinful. And then it blends in the devilish quality. Means you are very bad, so that's what God says. So the otherwise competition, no problem. And in this, even the poor people, they don't spare poor people also. They have no concern that my action, my choice, my doing this way will hurt as a countless as a needy people who are deprived of essential things. So that is their frame of mind, no. So these people, they only respect and value the people in power and position. They do not have any respect for saintly beings, for good beings, for virtuous beings in the society. Only thing, the people who have power and position, they try to please them, and they try to be in good books with those people. Next, God explains that there's another frame of mind. Adayo abhijanvanasmi kasti sadrasomaya aksaye dasyami modishyeti agnan vimohita. Such people talk to themselves. Adayo means I'm wealthy. Adayo, praiseworthy, wealthy. Abhijanvanasmi means I'm born in a rich family. Do you know what is my father and grandfather, and I belong to this family and that family. So Adayo Abhijanvanasmi Kasti Sadrasomaya. Akshaye dasyami modishyeti agnan vyota. I am successful. I will even do the rituals. They do rituals. They do yagnas also, just to impress and get a name and fame in the society. That's so so it says Yakshaye dasyami modishye iti agnan vimohita. They are covered and enveloped by agnana vimohita, with the delusion, because they don't have knowledge, and they have a perverted knowledge, a wrong knowledge. That is that is avidya. That is avidya. Chadayo abhijanvan asmi kasti sadrasomaya yakshaye dashyami modishe iti agnan vimohita. That is the frame of mind. These three slokas God described them. Now God says, Anek chitta vibhranta moha jala samavruta prasaktaha kama bhogesu patanti narkesu cho. So God says, Anek chitta vibranta means confused with this, with so many different kinds of thoughts, because there are so many different kinds of desires, so many things they have to do and manipulate. So Anek chitta vibranta moha jala samavruta, as if they are covered in the net of moha jala samavruta, covered. Prasaktaha kama bhogeshu. Prasakta means soaked with and drenched with. Prasaktaha, with what? With the two things, right? Kam and bhog. Kam bhogeshu. Patanti narkesu chu. Such people make their progress downwards. Anek chitta vibranta moha jala samavruta. Prasaktaha means they cannot see anything. They see only this thing, and that is the ultimate. Their ego has has agreed and pampered these thoughts, and now they firmly stand for that. So patanti narake sucho. So ego creates this kind of understanding, and then now they are convinced and they are not worried about right doing or wrong doing, and they'll end up in doing the wrong things, and those are sinful things. And God says, you do right thing, you will get right reward. Wrong thing, you will get wrong reward. Bible also says, that be careful, sins will find you out. They will not leave you. So that's it. That Bible says that. Our Bhagavad Gita also says that whatever you do, you will get that status, or rewards will be there. So as when God explains as Gunatra Vibhag, in that he describes that Urdhva Gachanti Sattvastami. We all are endowed with three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. And God says that what happens to such people? Why we have to be decent or kind or good-hearted or sattvic? What is the advantage? So God says, Urdhva gachanti sattvastha madhye tishtanti rajasa jagganya gunavruttistha adho gachanti tamasa. Whatever way you spend your life and you stand for and follow your thinking, that's the way you will progress in future. So urdhva gachanti sattvastha means the people established in sattva, good doings, kindness, and all those sattvic qualities that we saw in the first three slokas. 26 qualities, more the qualities, divine qualities, and you follow, you are sattvic. So urdhva gachanti. Then your spiritual progress is higher and higher, and all the good things will come, and you will end up in the spiritual cadre on the higher and higher side. So urdhva gachanti sattvastha. Madhye tishtanti rajasa. If you are just just a worldly being concerned about yourself and your family, which most people do, and live a decent life. You are not doing harming anybody, and you spend your life, and ultimately we all go. Such people remain in the same status. No, so their actions don't bring very great rewards or great punishments. So madhye tistanti rajasa jaghanya gunavruttistha adogachanti tamasa. And those who are having the negative thinking, negative qualities, jagganya means abominable thinking and activities. The jagganya gunavruttistha, involved and busy with those kind of direction, adogachanti tama, they continuously go downwards. We all are here for no other reason. It should be very clear to us. God didn't send us here to get couple of diplomas or get bank statement with six figures and eight figures, but He sent us for spiritual progress, to realize the self and to know who we really are. That is the only purpose of our existence or our sojourn on this planet, is for spiritual growth. God says, if you don't do it, you are same. You are wasting your time. And those who do the right thing, right thinking, right study, right action, as I said, they are get spiritually evolved, and they will be better off. And as a tangible reward, they get peace of mind and santi. And every human being wants only peace of mind and peace of mind and happiness. That is the only goal. Nobody wants just money for the sake of money or health for the sake of health. Everybody wants to be happy and peaceful. And they want to be peaceful and happy all the time. And we don't want to be in pain and sorrows. So that is the common goal. And the people who follow the right track, God says, you automatically will get that. So you will get spiritual progress, as well as you will have peace of mind, and you will have a very comforting, very peaceful, very blissful life on this planet. So, but if you are negative and you are harmful and destructive to other beings and to my creation, God is watching everything. To my creation, if you are harmful and is doing it, you will not go unpunished, and you will continue to go down. That is the whole essence of this chapter. That God tells us that be careful whatever you do. We have an opportunity to cultivate more of sattvic guna or divine qualities, and make a progress and be happy. Otherwise, even with the wealth and your tricks, you are not going to be peaceful. You can have tons of money, you do wrong things, you are very tricky, very smart. You can have tons of money, but no peace of mind, no happiness for you. And God can punish us from so many different angles. So He will take the sleep out of you. He will take the peace out of you. He will make your family miserable, surrounding miserable, and still you will be very rich with 5 cars in the garage. That doesn't count, but you will know that you are in trouble. Then God further explains, Atma Sambhavita Stabda Dhanman Madanvita Yajante Nam Yagneste Dambhena Viti Purvakam. So, such beings who are Atma Sambhavita, self conceited, as Atma Sambhavita, Stabda means stubborn, Dhan Man Madan Vita, intoxicated, Madan means intoxicated with Dhan Man. They are very careful about the honor they get in the society. If you don't give them a seat in the front row, they will be very disturbed and very unhappy, and so all those things are very important to them. So dhan, man, Madanvita. Yajante nam yagneste dambena vidipurvakam. They also will worship God just for the show, but without any divine divine feelings or feelings of love for the scriptures, for guru or for priest. They will do this kind of prayers and yagnas and other things. So Atma Sambhavita Sabda Dhanman Madanvita Yajante Name Yagneste Dambena Vidipurvakam. Now God tells further. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodam cha sansrita mamatma pardehesu pradisanto abasuyaka. So now God describes such people in more detail. So there's ahankaram balam darpam. They are very egoistic. Ahankaram balam darpam is very abrasive, very showy. The ahankaram balam darpam. Kamam krodam cha sansrita, taking the path of this kama and krodha. Mam atma pardeshu, they neglect me, they cause pain to me which resides in their soul. Mam atma inside, pardehesu in my other beings, pardehesu, pradisanto avasuyaka. And it's that they ignore me, they dislike me, and talk negative about me. God says, such being, out of their arrogance, out of their worldly desires and activities, they cause pain to themselves, to their conscious, means to me residing within, and create the same thing for me who is seated in other beings. So ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodam cha sansrita mam atma pardehesu pradisanto avasveka. They don't want to talk about God. They have very little concern about it. They verbalize that, no, where is God? I don't believe in God. As it is all bogus, no. So they said that such people God is talking about. Ahankaram, balam darpam. God says, for such people, what do I do? Tan aham dvisat kruran. Like we said, nobody goes unpunished. So God says, Tan aham, to those people. Tan aham dvisat kruran. Such cruel, negative people. Sansaresu naradaman. The worst of human beings. Sansare su naradaman. Kshipami ajastram asubhama, means kshipami means I rotate them, I whirl them, I place them different times, different species. Kshipami ajastram means constantly, ajastram. Asubhaman, asubhan means a bad, where they suffer, asubhan. Asurusi eva yonisu, in the asuri yonis, means lower and lower species. Not necessarily you get human birth. Even in human birth, he will put it in a great deal of difficulties and miseries. Or if you are even a worst doer of this kind, negative things in the world, then God says, I put them in the inferior yonis, means they go into animal beings and birds and even worse, there's reptiles and all those things. I put them to who? Those who have done willingly, knowingly, and done negative things in the world. Whether they are caught in by the government, whether they are whether they are found out in by the laws as and as it. But God says that Their doings will take them to these things. So tan aham dvishat kruran sansare sunaradamat chipami ajastram asubhan asuri seoyamisi. Asuri yoni mapanna mudha janmani janmani mama prapya konte tato ati yadmam. Not one birth, but several birth I whirl them depending upon their doings. There are people who have done very evil things during this life, in one life, and all their bad deeds will have to be paid by them. So I keep throwing them in lower and lower species. Now God explains, Trividham narakasya idam dvaram nasanam atmana काम क्रोध तथा लोभ tasmat etam trayam त्यजेत. Now God concludes there are three gates to downfall. God has sent us here for spiritual evolution. Instead of that, we went down. So God says that you will go down. These three exits will take you down. So avoid that. Which are those? Trividam narakasya idam dwaram. These are the gateways. Kama, Krodha, Tatha, Lobha. Tasmat means therefore, Tasmat, Etat Trayam Tyaje. So you must avoid these. You should never go near it. What is it? There's a selfish desires, Kama, then Krodha means anger, Kama, Krodha, Tatha, Lobha, and greed. Extreme of karma brings a lobha, or lobha means whatever I have is not enough. Even if I am multi-millionaire, it's not enough. That is called greed. So love means whatever I have is not enough, and I want more. Sometimes we wonder that the guy was involved in 1,000 crore of scandal. What is that? That is because whatever money you have, you think that's not enough, so you want more and more. So kama, krodha, tatha lobha, and the origin is from the kama or desires, selfish desires. Not only that they want to enjoy, they feel good about having wealth, whether they use it or not, no, but just having the wealth. And if anybody comes in the way or becomes a hindrance, then they become extremely angry and they want to eliminate them, eliminate the obstacle. Living or living being is bothering, they want to finish that, or defeat that. That is called anger, krodha. Tatha lobha means lobha. So these three together will take you way, way down. So God says, avoid them at all cost. And our scriptures teach that you avoid these three and cultivate these three. So the Dhamma, Dhanam, Daya iti. Etat trem sikset. Veda says. Dhamma, control of senses. Dana, charity, means good, using your resources in a good way. Dhamma, Dhanam, Daya iti, and compassion. Etat trayam sikset. You should learn and cultivate these three virtues, and kama, krodha, tatha lobha you should avoid. So that is God very clearly states. That's what this chapter is for. Is that what to do, what not to do. And God says those who avoid these three gates or exits to downfall, so eter mukta konte tamodvare tribinara acharti atmanasreya tato ati parangati. So eter vimukta means one who has avoided these three evils. Eter vimukta konte tamodvare tribinara acharti atmanasre, and does good thing for their progress. Acharti atmanasre, for their elevation, for ascending on the spiritual path. Sriya tato yati param gatim, they attain the ultimate. Means those who go into this exit, they go down. Those who avoid this and continue to do good work that I've been recommending, they will ultimately come to me. Yati param gatim. That's why God says now, concluding last two shlokas, He says, "Ye shastra vidim utsrujya vartate kam karata nasa siddhim vapnoti na sukham na param gatim." God makes this statement that those who do the things contrary to what is stated in the scriptures, yes, shastra vidim means what we should do. People who do it contrary to the vidhi means to we should do. Nised means you should avoid. Vidhi nised means what you should do, what you should avoid. So, yasastra vidim usrujya vartate kamakarata na sa siddhim vapnoti na sukham na paramgati. Such people cannot get any siddhi, means they cannot get to any decent place or destination. Means they will spend their life in doing the wrong things and are unable to use the intellect that I gave them to find out what is worth doing and not worth doing. So that discriminating power they did not use, and that is the only difference between us and animal, that we have a discriminating power, what is good, what is bad, and that special privilege, if we don't use it, we are very akin to animals. So God says those who use it and make right choices, they will get param gatim. And so yasastra vidim ussurije vartate kamakarata na siddhim vapnoti na sukham na param gatim. So now finally God says that tasmat sastra pramanamti. Therefore, he made that statement, and now he said tasmat, because of that. That reasoning, that logic, that spiritual truth. Tasmat sastra pramanamte. Whatever is stated in the scriptures, making that as a gold standard for you to decide what I should do and what I should avoid. Tasmat Shastra Pramanam Te. Karya Karyo Vyavasthitum. Karya and Akarya. Karya Akarya Vyavasthitum. Gnatva Shastra Vidhanoktam. Whatever is stated in the scriptures, know it. Shastra Vidhanam. Karma Kartum Arhasi means you should do your activities, choose those activities as approved, as recommended in the scriptures. You must conduct your life. So tasmat shastra pramanam te karya karya vyavastito gnatva shastra vidhanoktam karma kartum arhasi. And there are plenty of scriptures in every religion. God has left so much of material. And especially in our Sanatan Dharma, God says follow Shruti. Shruti means our Vedas and Upanishads. So they are the gold standard. Shruti and Smruti are spiritual literature, but it varies from time to time with a different need of the society. From centuries to centuries, they differ, and that's why the masters have modified that. So that is called Smruti, and Shruti means Vedas. They were heard by enlightened people, and that is the Upanishad is part of Shruti. So follow Shruti. That is Vedas and Upanishads. Bhagavad Gita is essence of all Upanishads. So we are mad about Bhagavad Gita because Upanishads are hundreds of them. We can't study. Gita is a little easier, and God has made a special favor for us that He put all these Upanishads, essence of all Upanishads. That's why it starts with Sarvo Upanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopal Nandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gita Amrutam Mahat. So God was very kind that He gave essence all Upanishads, Sadas in a very, very easy way for us to understand. So follow that. And if there is a discrepancy between Smruti and Shruti, Shruti is to be followed, and in that case, the Smruti statement have to be discarded. There are many wrong things. People find it out that okay, the females were mistreated, and other caste system and other things we see it in stated in Smritis. So they are no scripture. So when there is a contradiction, follow only Shruti. Shruti will never say anything negative about human beings, any human beings. So that is the special feature. So this way God described divine qualities. God explained negative qualities or devilish qualities, which discussed in detail, and says that you follow whatever I have stated in the scriptures and live very peacefully, blissfully, and you will be the real winner in life. So if you have any question, you can ask.